Coming out of turns 3 and 4. Chad White on the bottom. William Duff on the top. Checkered flag in the air. Who's going to win? It's William Duff. No, look out. He just junked it. Look out. Oh, my God. World's #1 streaming service. Hutchinson Motorsports TV. On the call tonight. On your feet. Off your seats. It's about to go green. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live here tonight on Hutchinson Motorsports TV, the world's #1 streaming service. Tonight, we are here at Phoenix with the Wheels America Racing Cup Series for the Harpoon Design 100 in the booth. We're changing it up tonight. I've got Daryl Young with me. Daryl, how you feeling about this one here at Phoenix?
I am feeling great. Thank you for having me, Blake. This should be a lot of fun in the Harpoon Design 150.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one. You know, we got one of your buddies out there here tonight. That's Steve Tucker in the one. He's going to be racing for a championship next week, we do believe. How you feeling about his chances?
Yeah, he's pretty good. I feel pretty good about him doing well, and we'll see how it goes. I know he's very competitive, so even though he may already be locked in or close to locked in, he's going to want to win tonight.
Absolutely. Now here, as you see these shots here at Phoenix Motor Speedway, the racers are qualifying for the time being. But check out these great views. Daryl, what do you know about Phoenix? Like, what kind of tips would you give a driver if they were to ask you right now?
I would say tires is always very important at somewhere like Phoenix. For sure. I'm not sure exactly what the track temp is right now. Actually, it looks like it's about 92 degrees. So kind of cool right now, and it may climb a little bit, so should be pretty grippy, and should be a lot of fun for these guys.
Well, absolutely. Well, let's head down to the track, check out how qualifying is going here, folks. As we take a look, you see Joseph Mealy on track right now. Derek Fye on the top of the board with a 26.814. Let's see what Joseph Mealy has up his sleeve out of Schenectady, New York. Daryl, what do you know about Schenectady, New York?
I've never actually heard of it.
Well,
I don't know anything about it.
Me neither. All I know is Joseph Mealy lives there, but he is flying here at Phoenix. He's ripping the top. Not sure if this is his out lap or not. We're going to see how this plays out as he's ripping the fence here. Not sure about that line. Hopefully he's just building speed to take the green flag. We continue to watch him rip it around here. Derek Fye still top of the board. Then we have Malarkey in second, followed by Fleming, Morante, and Hassong. On the left side of your screen on the tower, you're going to notice some different colors on the board. If their colors lit up with the gradient colors from blue to red there, that means they are still in the playoffs. But the green name there, that is Dylan Morante. He has actually locked himself into the season finale next week at Homestead. Steve Tucker on track, Daryl. Let's go around here and let's hop on board with the #1 machine from Harpoon Design Racing.
Yeah, I saw him warming up his tires coming out of the pits. He's hoping to do a heater here, so we'll see how he does.
Absolutely. As we go up to the Harpoon Design blimp, watching Steve Tucker taking the green flag. Steve was feeling pretty confident here. I talked to him earlier. He was asking me for all kinds of tips, Daryl. I said, Steve, you're going to have to advance on your own to Homestead next week.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree with that. So far, it looks like he's P9, Blake. See if he can pick it up on lap 2 here.
It looks like these drivers' strategy is to put all your eggs in one basket on that second lap. So he's going to have to see what he can carry through the final time around the track. Let's hop on board, see if Steve Tucker can set the quick time from Boston, Massachusetts. Going to be 5th place for him here, and he gets kicked off the track immediately. So it is official. Quick time, Joseph Mealy, top of the board, 26.753. And folks, it is time. Let's get straight into tonight's starting lineup for the Harpoon Design 150 here at Phoenix. As we grid up here, ladies and gentlemen, it is time here at Phoenix Motor Speedway Harpoon Design 150 Wheels America Racing Cup Series. Tonight's starting lineup is as follows. On the front row in the pole position in the number 39 machine, Joseph Mealy on his outside, the 09, Derek Fye. Row number 2 on the inside, going to be the 73 of Justin Malarkey on his outside, the 88, Matthew Fleming. Row number 3 on the inside in the 5th position is going to be the 1, Steve Tucker on his outside, the 36. He's already locked into the final 4, Dylan Morante. Row number 4 on the inside in the 29, Robert Hassong starting on his outside. Ladies and gentlemen, the dirtiest driver in the business, bump and run, Jesse Becker. Row number 5 on the inside, going to be the 16, Landon Bednar's on his outside. The 13, Michael Lanfear. Row number 6 on the inside, going to be the 5, William Robbins on his outside. The 2, Cody Keller. And in row number 7, ladies and gentlemen, fan favorite, Darryl, you may not know it, but Kerwin Marshall is known as the weapon around here, and he brings the fans. Starting on his outside, Steve Tucker's teammate, the 14, Frankie Barroso. And that is your starting lineup here tonight. Darryl, I think it's time for us to lock our picks in to win it. Who you going with?
Who am I going with, Blake? Let's see. You know, I am going to go with... I have to go with Steve Tucker, right? I have to. I'm going.
Man, after all the smack you've been talking over the last few weeks, you're going to go with Steve Tucker to win this race, Darryl?
I am, you know. He's going to get done. You watch.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see as the field is set as they roll into the juicy Spider start zone. Green flag in the air. Going up to the Harpoon Design blimp. That's Brantley Roden flying high up in the sky here in the desert of Phoenix, Arizona. Green flag is out. Justin Malarkey, your race leader down the backstretch. We drop back in the field here. Let's jump on board here with the 23 of Jesse Becker after starting in the 8th spot. He's down in the 10th here. He's just going backwards, Darryl.
I do see that. Man, the leaders almost made contact from what I saw from the booth. Like, Steve Tucker took the lead.
Out front, Steve Tucker making quick work. Man, that might have been a good pick here, Darryl. I didn't even notice he was on the back bumper. Steve Tucker takes over the race lead. Let's rewind it real quick. We've got a shot of the pass for the lead. Using the dog leg, Darryl. Is that something you like doing when you're here at Phoenix?
I do. I definitely like that.
What a great move there, Steve Tucker.
Great move.
Making quick work, but let's take a look at you know a bit about this guy here. What do you know about the 12 of Frankie Barroso out of Miami, Florida?
Yeah, I do know a lot about Frankie. He knows how to get it done too. Right now, he's just looks like he's just kind of chilling in P12, taking it easy. 15 cars on the track. This could stay green for a long time, and Frankie may be thinking, you know what, this is going to be a long green flag stretch, and I'm just going to sit here, save some tire, and go from there.
And as you can tell here, looks like stage number 1 going to be at the end of lap 29. So we're going to have about a 30-lap stage 1, and then the end of lap 64, 65. So after 65 laps, we're going to go into the last stage of the night. So 3 stages here in the Harpoon Design 150. Steve Tucker now out front by about 0.3 of a second.
Yeah, he's definitely cooking right now. He's got that fresh air in front of him. Looking pretty good early.
And let's take a look here, Darryl, as we pull up to Hutchinson Motorsports TV hard charger board. That's Steve Tucker with 4 spots gained, but William Robbins up to the 6th position. He's already gained 5, so he's your biggest mover so far.
Yeah, definitely started 11th, currently 6th, making good moves. He wants that track position, so good on him.
Bit in the wall
we
there.
just grazed the wall though.
But not bad news for Steve Tucker here, Daryl. Looks like Matthew Fleming has just put down the fastest lap of the session, a 27.07. He's almost 2/10 faster than your race leader right now.
He is coming hard, Blake. He's right there. He did graze the wall a little bit on the previous corner. These guys got to be a little careful about that. It's pretty fast here at Phoenix, and graze the wall too much, you get a little bit of damage, it'll slow you down. They got to be a little careful.
Absolutely, and I think Steve Tucker, he's trying to manage his tires the best he can, but you never want to give up that race lead, as Matthew Fleming's also trying to lock himself into the season finale next week here. We're going to be at Homestead for the finale with the Wheels America Racing Cup Series. But folks, we've got an announcement to make. Season 2 is going to be coming here in just about a month or so. So Monday nights, we're not going to be off too long once this season ends.
Yeah, this has been a great season for this league.
But I haven't even.
It does not surprise me at all that we're.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, Blake.
Oh no, go ahead. That's all good. I was going to say I haven't even had the shot here to pull up the chat. We had some technical difficulties pre-race, so I'm trying to pull up the chat to see what our great fans are talking about as we watch Steve Tucker rip it around in the race lead here at Phoenix Motor Speedway. What have you been seeing out of this 48 car here so far, Daryl?
No, it's currently 14th. He's only down. It looks like one position. It looks like he started P13. He's P14. It looks like. So he's just kind of chilling. Maybe this is great strategy for him.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's so much of a strategy. I think he's just slow. But let's go back up front. Steve Tucker, still your race leader as he's holding off Matthew Fleming out front by still 0.3 of a second.
Yeah, it looks like he increased the gap just a little bit from a few laps ago. Fleming's still right there, though, but still a long race to go.
And how about this guy? Daryl, if you're out here, it's Dylan Morante, who, again, he already locked in his ticket to the Final Four lap by winning last week. He's sitting in the third spot. I mean, are you going for the win if you're Dylan Morante? Because I guess it doesn't matter if you crash, or what's the plan?
You absolutely go for the win. You're locked in to the championship next week. There's nothing. You can't lose anything. So you might as well go for the win.
Absolutely. As we watch this battle developing here for the race lead, top three kind of out front here, have about a second gap between third and fourth as Malarkey's in the fourth position. And we have Derek Fire, pole sitter earlier on, sitting in fifth. What about Frankie Barroso, though, here up to the 10th position after starting in the rear? I don't think he went out for qualifying. So he's trying to work through the field, sitting in 10th. He's kind of taking his time, it looks like.
He's found a nice pace, I think. Like I said, he's just kind of chilling here. I'm a little distracted by his little Kermit picture. I apologize, but no, he's found a good pace here. He's just kind of chilling, one spot at a time, saving tire. Again, a long stretch here. Actually, they're about halfway through this first stage, so pretty good.
Absolutely. Jump back high in the sky. Now, Daryl, you're familiar with Harpoon Design. Harpoon Design paint start at just $25. Head on over, harpoondesign.com. Fill out the form. Brantley Roden will get back to you in about a day or two. What do you know, though, about Harpoon Design, Daryl?
I don't know anything about Harpoon Design. No. Harpoon Design is the number one place to go for paints. If you want the best paint on track for whatever you do, whether it's officials, hosted race, league race, anything, goofing off on track with your friends, you want to look good. No matter what your skill level is. You could be first, you could be last, doesn't matter. You want to look good, harpoondesign.com.
That's what I always say, Daryl. I mean, if you're not going to be fast, you may as well look fast, and nobody does it better than Brantley Roden, because as you know, on trainingpaints.com, he is the #1 rated painter, and that's no lie.
He is definitely number one, and if you haven't already, make sure to go Trading Paints and favorite some of his paints.
It's kind of crazy. Last I checked, he's in the thousands of paints on there. Is that right, Daryl?
That is absolutely right. Yeah, he's #1 by a mile. And there's a good reason for it. Like, his paints are just, they're the best.
And you're going to see a bunch of them in this field. I don't know which one are all his, but I know there's at least, out of these 15 drivers, I wouldn't be shocked if maybe 10 of them are Harpoon Design paints.
I would say at least, yeah. I haven't actually checked yet, but I've been looking around, and definitely most of the field is Harpoon. That's for sure.
Yeah, but we got 12 laps left to go here in stage number 1. Do you think Tucker's going to be able to hold off Fleming? Fleming definitely looks to have the speed right now, but is he going to be able to find a way around that number 1 machine of Steve Tucker?
I think he definitely can. He's got the skill to do it. I think it's just going to come down to tires here. I mean, they have been going for 18 laps. There's 12 to go. He's right there, as you can see, Blake. I mean, he's right there. But I will say, having that clean air that Tucker has, that definitely helps him.
Yeah, the clean air here at Phoenix, especially in the next-gen car, is absolutely important. But Matthew Fleming is going to try to defy the odds here as we still got 11 laps to go. But let's drop back in the field a bit here, see what we got going on. Cody Keller in the 13th position trying to work on Jesse Becker. And, you know, I was talking with Jesse actually about 10 minutes ago, and I said, Jesse, you have a race here in about 10 minutes. Shouldn't you be practicing? He said, I don't need practice. Well, looks like he needs a little bit of practice because Jesse Becker in that 23 machine currently running back in the 12th position. Now, Daryl, whenever you're doing a league race, are you a practice guy or are you like just getting out there?
No, I like to practice for sure. I like to get in the session and practice for at least 30 minutes. What I don't want to do is over practice. I don't know if that's even a real thing, but for me, I don't want to practice something too much because I just think it's counterintuitive. I like to go out there and at least put, 20, 30 laps on the track, depending on what the track is. Get a little bit of practice and then just go from there.
That's definitely a good idea, and I would have to agree with you. You know, I've done some leagues in the past. It's been a while, but sometimes over-practicing definitely doesn't help out. But it looks like Steve Tucker still holding on to that race lead, a 0.4 of a second lead with just 8 laps left to go here in stage number 1. We're watching the Harpoon Design 150 here at Phoenix. We're going to see if Tucker can hold on. We know these stage points are going to be very important as we head into the finale next week. Justin Malarkey, though, makes a pass for the 3rd position, gets around Morante.
Yeah, this is tight right here. This is a great battle. There's about 5 cars here, it looks like. We're all right with each other, so this should be fun to end out the stage. It's going to get interesting with 8 to go here.
Absolutely. These guys duking it out here. They want as many stage points as they can get here. But as you look at the ticker there, we've only got 15 drivers here tonight. You know, it's pretty typical in iRacing. The end of the season, once drivers get eliminated, some of them tend to just kind of stop showing up. So that's definitely what happened here tonight as well.
Yeah, I agree. Some people do that. I personally don't like doing that. If I sign up for a season, I like to finish it out, but to each their own.
Yeah, I'd say I'm the same way, but nonetheless, we're going to finish this one out as we got 6 laps left to go. Joseph Mealy in the 7th position trying to make a move as that 09 gets hard into the wall of Derek Fye. Battle for the race lead. Nothing's really changed here. These guys kind of staying at that 0.3 to 0.4 of a second difference as we have just 5 laps left to go here in stage number 1.
You can tell Fleming's definitely trying to get around him here with 5 to go. He wants to win this stage. I just don't know if he's going to be able to do it. Even if he gets right up to Steve and makes a move, I don't know if he'll be able to get around him, but it's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, but we're going to watch this battle right here for the 4th position. That's William Robbins to the inside, who is your hard charger so far, trying to take over that 4th spot. We're going to hop in car here with Derek Fye in the 6th position as he watches Dylan Morante duke it out there with William Robbins, but Robbins makes the pass, takes over that 4th position.
Yeah, Robbins is doing really well. Like you said, Blake, he's up to P4. He's gained 7 spots since the beginning of this race. 7 spots up to P4. That's great track position for the end of the stage, for when all these guys come down and get new tires. They'll be set up for stage 2 for sure.
Absolutely. And then looking back, Frankie Barroso now up 6th position since the start of this race, up to 8th here. Looks like he's going to make quick work of the 39 if he doesn't junk it.
Yeah, same thing with Frankie. He sees that there's only 2 to go in the stage. He wants to get at least 1 more spot, if not 2 spots, to also set himself up for a good start to stage 2.
Well, he's got 3 cars right in front of him. He's definitely got to be licking his chops. And, heading into this race, Frankie Barroso was your points leader on points. So he's sitting pretty here to advance to the finale next week. Just has to stay out of trouble. So that moves him up to the 7th position. Now as he goes to work on, it looks like Joseph Mealy on the bottom, and on his outside is going to be Dylan Marante as they get tangled up there. It's not going to matter, though, because out front, Steve Tucker, your race leader, he's going to be coming to the start-finish line, and he's going to take home stage number 1. Steve Tucker wins stage 1 here in the Harpoon Design 150. So there is the caution. It's going to be Tucker out front, followed by Fleming, Malarkey, Robbins, and Barroso. Let's go ahead and pull Steve in here for a quick little interview, Daryl. This might be fun for you. Let's get him in here, see if he's available. Steve, Blake, and Daryl up in the booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Yes, sir. How we doing?
Hey, pretty good, but not as good as you. You dominate stage 1. You lead, I think, every lap, if not basically maybe one of them you didn't lead. But dominating performance here in stage 1. You think you can keep that one machine out front?
We'll see. We kind of got lucky there because Joseph had the EOL to start. He had the pole, so we kind of bumped up to 3rd there, had a good restart past, what's his name? And so far, so good. So I think we have something for him. Fleming looks really, really quick. I don't feel great on long runs, but I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, Daryl, what do you got for Steve as he heads down pit road?
It's a great stage 1 win, Steve. You know, today's Groundhog Day, and I don't know if you heard the news. I know you've been practicing for this race, but Punxsutawney Phil predicted 6 weeks of wins for you, Steve, today. I don't know if you heard.
Really? Yeah, that's definitely a thing to know, and I'm going to try not blow past my pit box right now, so appreciate it. And, yeah.
All right, well, hey, we'll send you up to your team. Congratulations on your stage 1 win, Steve, and hopefully you can keep it up.
We'll see. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, Steve staying focused there, gets into his pit stall cleanly. Man, I would have felt bad, Daryl, wouldn't you, if he would have overshot his stall right there?
It would have been all your fault, Blake. You're in charge here.
Probably. You know? Boy, that was a close race off pit road as Fleming almost steals the lead, but he does not. And how about, looks like Frankie Barroso stays out. So I'm not sure about this decision from the 12 cars.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that strategy is, but yes, he did stay out. I'm a little puzzled.
Down pit road this time. So he's going to get a penalty. You have to start last. I guess he wanted the lap lead bonus. Not sure it's worth it, but nonetheless, looks like Frankie Barroso down pit road on what I would call a terrible strategy. But real
Could
quick.
be, but
go ahead, Daryl.
Go for it. No, I was just gonna say that now that you say that, I mean, every point matters. If you want to make sure that you're locked into the championship weekend at Homestead, then every point matters. So leading the lap, it's only a 15-car field. Frankie can easily go to the back and move his way back up to the front. So yeah. I actually kind of like it. All
right, well, looks like they're bunched up, ready to roll. We're going to take a quick break, thank a sponsor or two, and we'll be right back. We're going to start this thing back up here shortly. You're watching the Harpoon Design 150 at Phoenix. That was a quick break. We are back and ready to roll. Pace car is in front row. It's going to be Tucker on the inside, Fleming on the outside as they roll towards the Juicy Spider restart zone. Green flag back in the air here at Phoenix. Pretty clean through the dog leg into turns 1 and 2 as they are side by side heading towards the backstretch here at Phoenix. On board with the Wise Owl Wash number 16 machine, Landon Bednarz from Victoria, Texas. This is a good-looking car, though, the number 16 of Landon Bednarz.
I think Stone Cold is also from Victoria, Texas. Maybe this is his nickname, Stone Cold.
Well, I had no clue. If that's true, that is good to know. You know, Daryl, we've had racers from West Newbury, Massachusetts, which is where John Cena's from. So might be a common theme here.
That's very true.
But Steve Tucker out front, man, what a great jump by him. He's got a half a second lead, has to feel pretty good. He was not confident on his long runs, but he's not going to have to worry about it here as we only have about 30 laps to go here before our final stage break.
Yeah, he knows how important fresh air is, and he wanted to jump out to a lead as fast as possible. And this is going to be a longer stage, though. Instead of, this is 35 laps now, so a little bit longer stage. So gotta still make sure you don't wear out the tires.
Absolutely, got to be saving them tires, but we drop back in the field a bit here. Joseph Mealy from New York in that 5th position, going to work on Dylan Marante, and behind him is going to be the 5 of William Robbins. Well, we appreciate you folks tuning in here. Hutchinson Motorsports TV, world's #1 streaming service. We are here tonight again with Wheels America Racing Cup Series. Be sure click that like button, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff, as we got some guys getting into the wall as they're racing hard out front here in the top 3. Now, Daryl, how long has Steve Tucker been one of your teammates over with Harpoon Design Racing?
I've known Steve for about 3 years. So he's not actually on the Harpoon Design team, but definitely a very good friend of the team. But yeah, I've raced with him multiple times, whether it's league races or official races, and obviously you've broadcasted plenty of his races. You know that he knows how to get it done.
Absolutely. Now, rumor has it Steve is quite the chef, Daryl. What do you know about that?
Just saying the word chef makes me hungry for like a boiled hamburger, like a cheeseburger. Blake, you ever boiled a cheeseburger before?
I didn't know that was a thing, Daryl. I can't say I have.
Well, Steve Tucker likes to do that, so maybe he can give you some pointers, and you can have a nice meal after this race is over.
Does he not like any flavor with them, or what's the deal?
The oil that goes all throughout that burger is the flavor. So, I'm sure he picks a really nice vegetable oil to make that burger taste just top notch.
Absolutely. We're watching these guys bring it around. You're watching the Harpoon Design bring the noise here at Phoenix Motor Speedway in the Harpoon Design 150. Well, here's some great shots here at Phoenix. Now, Daryl, do you have a favorite track on the NASCAR circuit?
Well, I really do like the plate tracks. Obviously, I kind of specialize in Daytona, Talladega, a little bit of Atlanta sprinkled in there. I really love doing those. However, as far as non-plate tracks, I really love Michigan. That's a real fun track to go to. Have a lot of fun there.
Yeah, no, that's the next thing I was gonna bring up. We know you're definitely a fan of the Draft Masters official races here on iRacing. How has your week gone so far for your iRacing? Do you think it's gone up or down?
It's actually been it actually was probably neutral. I gained some, and then I lost a bunch, and then I got it back. It was a fun week running Draft Master at Daytona. And next week, we have all the officials at Daytona. A-Class Next Gen, B-Class Xfinity and C-Class capable trucks. That's going to be a lot of fun next week.
You know, I assume you prefer to run the next gens. Is that right?
I do prefer to run the next gens. I do like running some of the other cars. I'm just not as great at them. I should run them more. But I like them, obviously, for sure.
Absolutely. And, you know, speaking of draft races, this coming Friday, folks, if you didn't hear about it, we're doing the Harpoon Design 500 event. We're going to be in the Gen 4 Legacy Cup cars. So the old school cars from back in the day, back in about the 03 period. And then we're going to be at Legacy Daytona, so where it's all bumpy, and it's going to be a fun race. We're going to have no fast repairs, just a $5 entry. And we've got over $150 worth of payouts and prizes on the line.
It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm very excited to take part in that event, to drive in that event. I'm going to make sure I do a little bit of practice in that car, but I encourage everybody to sign up if you haven't already. It's going to be a blast.
Absolutely. And if you're interested in signing up, you know, you can join our Discord, which is going to be in the description of the video. Shoot me a message. You can message Hutch25 on Discord. I'll hook you up. It's only a $5 entry, and that'll get you entered in here for the Harpoon Design 500. And be sure, if you do some practice, check out our custom setup. We posted it in our Discord channel. So you're going to want to try that out. It is a little different. It promotes pack racing a little bit better than what the iRacing default schedule, setup does.
If you do decide to join the race and don't already have a paint scheme, and you can, there's a couple options, Blake. One of them is reach out to Brantley Harpoon Design and get a custom paint for that event. Fill out a form. Second option, Blake, is just go to Creative Paints, and he's got a ton of them paints already made that doesn't cost anything.
That's actually,
so make sure to look good when you race.
That's actually a good point, folks. You know, if you want a custom paint, you know, get to them ASAP. I mean, you probably need to get to him tonight or tomorrow to make sure he has plenty of time to get that thing done before Friday. But like Daryl said, if not, you know, check out all of his paints. You know, again, he's got like 5,000 or something crazy to choose from. So there's plenty of paints out there to choose from Brentley Roden, harpoondesign.com. Meanwhile, though, looks like Steve Tucker's out front by over a second. He's figured something out here. Again, he's got the short run speed. Can he hold off Fleming in the long run? Only 14 laps left to go here in stage number 2.
Yeah, he's got a 1.1 second gap, and which is the same gap to P3. So this field, the front of the field anyway, is kind of spread out here. A little tighter in the back. If you're looking here, it looks like a little bit of a battle for P5, P6, P7, even P8. This is fun to watch.
Yeah, we got Michael Lanfear here out of Colorado Springs going to work on the 16 out of Victoria, Texas of Landon Bednarz as they go side by side. It's a Western showdown.
I was just in Colorado last July, very briefly, Blake. I was only there for a little bit of connecting flight, but the view was gorgeous.
Absolutely. You know, Colorado's got some of the best iRacers in the business. Now, I'm not sure if you're familiar with them, but a guy by the name of Marshall Harris is from Colorado, Daryl. Did you know that?
I did know that, yeah. Yeah, Marshall told me if I ever come over, he's got a bar that he'll take me to and, you know, drink some beer. So
boy, he can really throw them back, Daryl. You better be ready to go. Inside joke there,
yes,
folks, from Marshall Harris. Marshall's probably not even watching, but we had to throw a little jab in. Speaking of Marshall, though, Kerwin Marshall in the 13th position. We call him the weapon around these parts, Daryl. You may not be familiar, but rumor has it this guy races on a controller, and he has his fair share of incidents, let's just say.
You know, honestly, kudos to him. If he's racing on a controller, you know, people might say, oh, he's in 13th, he's had his fair share of incidents, you know, no surprises on a controller. But honestly, like, he's on the lead lap, like, just kind of chilling, racing on a controller. That's pretty good.
Yeah, he's doing his thing. You know, he gets a bad rap. I know Steve Tucker is definitely no fan of him, but, you know, he's had his fair share of incidents, but he's had a lot of clean races as well. So for Kerwin Marshall, he at least had the guts to show up here, which a number of drivers did not.
You know, speaking of Steve Tucker, I'm looking at this front of the field, and Matthew Fleming has cut the gap down to 0.5. It was 1.1 just literally a few laps ago, Blake. That gap is tightening.
Let's take a look here. Let's pull up some lap data here, folks. I don't typically do this lap data stuff, so give me a moment to get it all figured out. Here you have it. So take a look. Here's your top three. In the past 5 laps, Daryl, what are you seeing?
I mean, I see Fleming catching him. That's what I see. I mean, you can see it right there. It's just little by little. You know, you don't see huge gains every lap, but they all add up. So he's moving. He's still about 0.6.
Absolutely, and as you look, it looks like he's gaining about a tenth at least every lap for the most part, and he's pulling away from Morante in third while he's at it.
Yeah, this is a complete breakaway by the top 2 here, and Fleming's still closing in. He just got it down to 0.4 there for a second, and so this is going to be interesting to keep an eye on at least.
Yeah, I definitely think Steve Tucker might have realized that Fleming was reeling him in, and he's kind of picked up the pace a little bit. Now they're running about even lap times, both of them right around 28.2 lap times. We'll keep our eyes out here on this battle for the race lead. Only 6 laps remain here in stage number 2 with the Harpoon Design 150. Here at Phoenix, we're going to jump to the back here, see what's going on. Jesse Becker in the 10th position as he goes to work on the 13 of Michael Lanfear. Looks like another battle up here for the 5th spot. Or 6th spot, sorry. Justin Malarkey in 6 out of Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, Pennsylvania. Daryl, you been over to Pennsylvania ever?
It has been a long time since I've been over at Pennsylvania. It's been quite a while. I'd like to go back. Not to go look at a groundhog, though. Maybe he was there. We should ask him.
Yeah, you know, and again, I'm glad you brought up the news about the groundhog. You know, I feel like every year he sees a shadow, so I don't even get the point of it, honestly.
Well, you know, just because it's a prediction doesn't mean it comes true. You know, just like, you know, like this year it was 6 weeks of winning. And, you know, throw that out the window. Just kidding. And also, can I bring up one thing, Blake? We're showing there's another Kermit right here on Steve's picture. You know, did you know? Fun fact, Blake: Seahawks or hawks in general like to dine on frogs.
Really, I had no clue on that. Well, you think that's why Steve did that?
I don't think he realized what he was doing when he decided to put a frog on a New England Patriots Drake May jersey. But hawks like to dine on frogs. I hate to tell them.
Yeah, well, and Daryl, you know another thing that kind of grinded my gears with this picture. You realize the jersey is backwards, right?
Yes, I did notice that too.
But it looks like the white flag's out here for stage number 2. If you guys didn't know, we'll probably get into this here in the final stage. But Steve Tucker out of Boston, Massachusetts, obviously a diehard Patriots fan. Actually, I don't know how diehard. Maybe, do you think he just started bandwagoning back when they were winning with Tom Brady, Daryl?
Well, I think it was when they started cheating. You know, that's when he decided to become a fan.
Absolutely, but it looks like the checkered flag's out for the stage. Steve Tucker's going to sweep the stages. We're not going to bother to interview him, folks. We already talked to him once. So Steve Tucker, maximum points here in stage number 2. We're going to take a quick break as they are going to bunch up and head down pit road, get them some fresh tires, and we're going to get started for the final stage of the Harpoon Design 150. We will be right back. We are back here at Phoenix, and folks, I don't know if you saw it on the Hutchinson Motorsports TV side-by-side. Matthew Fleming overshot his stall, had a slow pit stop. He goes from second back to 12th, Daryl.
Yeah, that's tough for him. Luckily, there's still plenty of laps to go in this race, so he has plenty of time to get back up there, but it doesn't matter. I know that he's kicking himself for that one.
Yeah, you know, I mean, he's definitely got speed, but obviously that's going to hurt his chances to win. It's going to be hard to get through the field here, but they are going to have to do another pit stint here at least. So it's going to be interesting to see when these guys elect to head down pit road, as once we go green, we're going to have, about 80 laps left or so. Yeah, it looks like we're going to have about 80 laps left once we take the green flag. So my guess is after about 40 laps, if we stay green, you're going to start seeing these guys head down pit road as the pace truck is in as they head down the backstretch.
It's actually going to be about 82 laps to be exact, and that might be tight on fuel. Some of these guys might do a fuel save strategy. I'm not sure how many laps they can go on a full tank.
I'd be shocked if they could go 80, but we'll have to wait and see how it plays out. Field is set. It's going to be Tucker on the inside, Mealy on the outside through the Juicy Spider restart zone. Steve Tucker takes off like a rocket ship. He's your race leader. It's a hornet's nest through turn one as we're on board with Jesse Becker in the 7th position as they are side by side for 6 between the 09 and the 73. A little loose there off the corner. Becker's going to take the dog leg here as he gets ready to head into turn one, currently running in the 7th position out of Southport, North Carolina. Daryl, not sure if you heard, but they got about a foot of snow over there in North Carolina, and like you'd imagine, they're freaking out because these guys, usually they freak out over a couple inches.
Yeah, that's a lot of snow. I love snow, though. It doesn't bother me at all, but having a whole foot dumped on you pretty quick, that may, I guess that's not very fun, but yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Daryl, last weekend, I know you're up in Peoria. I assume you didn't get any of the big storm that came through. Is that right?
No, we did not. That was away from us. We avoided that mess.
Well, unfortunately, I'm at the far end, southern Illinois, and we got hit pretty hard. We got about 10 inches of snow, and it's been cold ever since, so not any of it's melted. And, Daryl, I'm getting sick of the snow, honestly.
I bet. I think you need to take a trip to Florida or something. Oh!
Hard into the wall there goes Barroso, and I believe the 29 of Hassan was right there with them as the 88 of Fleming trying to get through the field, but it is not an easy task.
Absolutely right. Hassan had to check up a little bit for Frankie, and they both kind of messed up there a little bit.
We're going to go up back to the Harpoon Design Blimp as these guys continue to battle. Let's jump back out front. Steve Tucker, your race leader. Dylan Morante in second. So Tucker is definitely happy to see his main competition of Matthew Fleming have to go to the rear, and now he can kind of work on that race lead.
Yeah, for sure. He's definitely happy to see that. One thing I will say is, though, Frankie is in P7. We know that he went to the back to get that lead lap, or to lead a lap, and he's currently running in 6th spot now. He just took over another position, so he is coming through the field.
Absolutely, and you know, I'm not sure how the points bonuses work out. Normally it's just 1 point for leading a lap, so I just still not sure about that decision he made earlier, because he basically cost himself his results in Stage 2 by doing it. So he kind of hurt himself in the Stage 2 standings, and he hurt himself here at the finish, but still a long way to go. We'll see if Barroso can work up through the field, as he's got 7 wins on the season. That's the most by far.
Yeah, he's having an excellent season. It's hard enough sometimes just to get 1 or 2 wins in a season, and for him to have 7 is pretty good.
Yeah, but Steve Tucker's trying to keep that number down to 7 for his teammate, Frankie Barroso, as he's out front, 0.7 of a second ahead of Dylan Morante. Joseph Mealy in the 3rd position. And take a look at the left side of your screen, folks, on the Hutchinson Motorsports TV tower. You're going to see the top 5 graphic we've been working on. You see Tucker, Morante, Mealy, Malarkey, and Landfield in the top 5. But let's pull this up here. This is our new Hutchinson Motorsports TV battle board graphic. Right now, Steve Tucker going to work on Morante. You can kind of see where he's gaining around the track. So that race lead stays at about 0.8 of a second down the backstretch. Goes through the corner. Obviously, it's going to go down a little bit once you enter the corner earlier. But he's going to gain it right back coming out at the line. 84/100ths of a second ahead.
That's an awesome graphic. I really like that.
Yeah, and it looks like the race lead continues to build up here. Let's drop back a little bit. Actually, you know what? Let's pull up your HMS TV lap leaderboard. There you have it. Steve Tucker has led 75 out of these 77 laps. And Malarkey has led 2, and then Matthew Fleming has led 1. So honestly, Barroso didn't even lead a lap. So maybe he just missed pit road on that pit cycle.
That could be possible as well. Under caution, I'm not sure how you
I don't know.
miss it, but stranger things have happened.
I don't know. So nonetheless, Steve Tucker out front still. Pretty big lead again, up to a second. As we look through the field here, we have the Hutchinson Motorsports TV manufacturer standings here. This is one of my favorites. So in the Toyotas, there's only 2 Toyotas in the field, folks. Steve Tucker's one of them in first. So a average running position of 5.5. Then in the Fords, you got Dylan Morante, your top running Ford. 6 Fords in the field, 6.5 average running position. And then these Chevys, they're slow and they're junk here tonight. Joseph Neely's in third. 7 Chevys, average running position, 10.0. But we look through the field here. Looks like Landon Bednar's been a rough race for him. He's fallen off big time, back to the 14th position from Victoria, Texas. Landon Bednar's. He is going to try to go to work, try to salvage some points here tonight, but not looking good for the 16.
No, so far not for the 16. Just only up 1 spot so far. See how it goes, though.
Yep. Long way to go here. You never know what'll happen. We're in a lap number 82 out of 150. In the chat, we've got Connor Gerard chatting it up. Appreciate Connor. You know, Daryl, I'm sure you've been in the chat quite a bit yourself. I don't think Connor Gerard has missed a single race probably in about 6 months.
Yeah, he's definitely the biggest cheerleader in the chat, and I mean that with all the respect in the world. He is always there cheering on Hutchinson Motorsports, cheering on this league, and other leagues, I assume, and that's great.
Absolutely. You know, people all the time, they say, Blake, we know you're Connor Gerard. You're just doing that. It's like, I don't have the time to message as much as Connor does during the stream. So trust me, if I could, I would. But Connor, we know you're real, and we appreciate you coming out here every single night, no matter where we're at. Doesn't matter what car we're in, what track we're at. You're going to be here. And we got a jam-packed week here tonight, or I'm sorry, this week, because tomorrow we're going to have Tuesday night action. I'm going to actually be in the car. Stars and Stripes series. Not sure if we're going to go live or do a delayed broadcast yet. I'm going to have to get with Jesse on that. But after that, we've got races the rest of the week. Wednesday night is going to be the GLSR Jason Dalton Memorial. We're going to be in late model stock cars at Martinsville for 102 laps. And then on Thursday, we got the Average Joe Sim Racing League finale going to be at Las Vegas in the trucks. That's going to be a good one you're not going to want to miss. Friday night, we got the Harpoon Design 500 event. That's going to be a full broadcast. Hope you're ready for that one, folks. That's going to be a long race, 500 miles around Old Daytona. In the chat, Daryl Young. Boy, he's in the booth putting in the super chats. I tell you what, Daryl, you can speak for yourself.
Skull Vikings 4 says through the super chat, Steve wins tonight, Patriots lose Sunday. And even though that was a $2 super chat, Blake, I would put 100 on that prediction. Steve
You know,
wins tonight,
I'm not
Patriots
sure
on
what the
Sunday.
line is there for Sunday, Daryl, but I have to agree with you. I'm not even trying to bash on Steve, but I mean, let's be honest. They've kind of had a cupcake schedule this season, the Patriots, and they played like 6 backup quarterbacks. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm not saying they're bad, but do they deserve to be in the Super Bowl? That's questionable.
I mean, to be fair to the New England Patriots, they didn't choose their schedule. But they did have a really, really, really easy schedule to get to the Super Bowl. So I would caution Patriots fans, and specifically Steve Tucker, that they are going to have a very hard time beating Seattle on Sunday night.
I'll give them all the props in the world because, I mean, Seattle looks like the best team in the league. So, again, they're definitely my pick to win. I don't know what the line is, though. I would guess they're probably like, I don't know, 3.5 to 5-point favorites. I don't think they'll give them a touchdown.
It is 5.5 point
Man, I'm
favorites,
good.
actually. Right now, you are pretty good. You're right there. Price is Right rules, you did not go over. Perfect.
Absolutely.
And, the Patriots, give them a little bit of credit. They have a coach now that doesn't cheat. So, there you go.
That's a good point, and Daryl, there's been a lot of fuss this week that everybody's crying that some guy named Bill Belichick didn't get elected in the Hall of Fame on the first ballot. I mean, all I really ever heard about that guy is A, he cheated, B, didn't he get fired from his last job, and C, there's some questionable ethics on who he's been dating as a 13 Lanphier smokes the wall. Go ahead, Daryl.
Yeah, Michael Lanphier. No, I was looking at Michael Lanphier. Yeah, it looks like he did smoke the wall. I'm sure he has a little bit of, if not moderate, damage on the right side of his car. Hopefully it doesn't hurt him too bad. Currently in 8th.
Absolutely. Now,
I was just gonna say Bill Belichick, never heard of her. I mean, that's how I feel. Like, who cares?
yeah, honestly, I never heard of the guy until the news broke this week.
I mean, he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer. I mean, like, I don't even know who the guy is. Like,
If he ever even gets in, Daryl, everybody says, oh, he's not first ballot. Well, it's possible. Maybe he'll never make it.
he shouldn't make it. He's a cheater, whoever he is.
And how many of those Super Bowls were without Tom Brady? Oh, yeah, 0, right?
0. It's a goose egg. Yeah, he never could. Whoever that Bill is, he never could win a Super Bowl, and he did his first year coaching college. He was garbage as well.
Yeah, again, just questionable ethics for the guy. Rumor has it, when he got his first head coach job for the Jets, I believe he wrote on a napkin about 1 day later, I quit. Or was it the Browns? I don't remember. It was somebody bad. I think it was the Jets.
That tells you everything you need to know about. That tells you everything you need to know about Bill, Bella, Pete. Yeah.
It was definitely the Jets. But nonetheless, Steve Tucker out front by 2 seconds now as Matthew Fleming has worked up to the 6th position. Right now he's going to work on Frankie Barroso. We know that's going to be a tough pass if he can get it done. 58 laps left to go here, folks. We may as well take a quick green flag break before our pit cycles start here during green. You're watching the Harpoon Design 150 on the world's #1 streaming service, Hutchinson Motorsports TV. We will be right back. We are back here at Phoenix for the Harpoon Design 150. Steve Tucker out front by a dominating margin, 3.2 seconds on Dylan Morante. Darrell, looks like your pick to win might have been a good one.
Yeah, so far it's looking good for him. I'm going to be very interested to see what happens during pit stops. That could make or break a race, so that should be interesting to watch as well once we get to that point.
Darrell, I'm not sure if you're looking at the chat, but somebody just said something about the leader's paint scheme. Do you have any info on that?
That paint scheme, I don't know if you can read it, Blake, but I think it says Harpoon Design.
Huh.
And yes, it does. Harpoon, it's a fantastic paint.
Well, you know what that means. It's time to take a close look here. Let's see if I can fire up and get connection here with the Juicy Spider drone cam. Let's take a closer look at this number one machine. Steve Tucker. Here we have it. The drone cam is struggling here. This thing's going pretty slow, but I'm going to get as close as I can. Normally it goes much faster than this. But take a look, Darrell. What do you see on this paint?
I see an excellent paint. You know, the black and white looks really good under the lights. Nice and shiny. HarpoonDesign.com. It's looking great.
Boy, that is a custom paint scheme, folks. And you can get one of these. Again, paint start at just $25. Head on over, HarpoonDesign.com. Better get with Brantley Roden as quick as you can because he is definitely getting busy here with NASCAR season starting up here shortly in the coming weeks.
Starting at $25, like you said, $25.
That's a steal. I mean, $25, you can even buy a couple of tracks on iRacing for that.
You know, I'll tell you, Blake, the reason why I do so many super chats during these broadcasts is because I have extra money left over because of how good of a deal it is to get one of these paints. That's why. Now
I get it. You know, you have all those awesome Harpoon Design paint schemes. You know, typically, I mean, they're probably worth, I would say, like $70 to $100 a piece. And if you're paying $25, I mean, I kind of feel bad for Brantley for him being so cheap.
They look good.
Speaking of which, let's draw back. We know this is another Harpoon Design paint scheme. Uh-oh, Jesse Becker. Not sure if he's short pit or what the deal is, but it looks like he's a lap down in the 13th position. Pulling up some information here. Looks like he went down pit road on lap 92. So Becker going with an alternate strategy here with 45 laps left to go.
The bold strategy. See how it works out for him.
And we got some new camera packs to work on here, or to show off here. Christian Taylor, got to give him kudos. He's been putting these together. Hutchinson Motorsports TV camera pack. You're watching the nose cam on the 23 of Jesse Becker. Now, Darrell, have you ever wondered, like, man, I wonder what the driver is looking like right now here in the car? Well, take a look.
Oh, that's great.
That is a live feed. He's barely turning that wheel. He's saving as much tires as he can. That's Jesse Becker as Monster on the helmet.
You know, he's so locked in, he hasn't even blinked. You know what I mean? It's like he just doesn't blink.
Did he take his visor out? I don't think he's wearing a visor.
He's not wearing a visor. No. He's good to go.
Take a look at Steve Tucker. He's also got the visor out. And, man, well, that's kind of – Steve's kind of slacking it here on the suit and helmet, don't you think?
Yeah, I don't. He needs to, for such a beautiful, beautiful paint on that car, he needs to step up his game on the helmet and suit.
Well, I think that proves, you know, Brantley just did all the work and made the paint for him. Steve didn't really have to do anything.
Great.
But right now, your top five is all playoff drivers. Again, if you're just tuning in, folks, if you see the blue to red gradient, that means they are a playoff driver still active in the chase. And, you know, the guy with the green name, that's Dylan Morante. He has locked his spot into the championship finale. Next week, we're going to be at Homestead as we finish this race here at Phoenix. 42 laps left to go. Darrell, when do you think Tucker's going to head down pit road? This is about the halfway point this lap.
You know, Blake, I was just about ready to say, I'm seeing some activity on pit road. It looks like Landon just pulled into his pit stall right now. Malarkey, Malarkey just pitted on lap 105, so just a couple laps ago. There's action down there. There goes Kerwin Marshall down pit road as well.
And you know, Daryl,
Michael Lampier
in the chat, Brandon Roden just confirmed he does not do the clothes or the helmets, I believe. So unfortunate. Steve Tucker's going to have to figure it out himself.
Yeah, it shouldn't be too hard for him. He'll be fine.
But, folks, we appreciate you tuning in. We're about to see some green flag pit stops. We've already seen some, but your race leader, Steve Tucker, going to head down here any moment would be my guess. I would play it safe if I was him. Break this right in half, and then you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, I agree. It looks like we still have quite a bit of cars that are still out on the track. Interesting strategy. We're going to have people who are definitely going to have some really fast laps on these fast tires. But is it too early? Not sure. It looks like we're at 40 to go.
Yep, 40 laps remain. It looks like William Robbins and Robert Hassan going to head down pit road here as they were running about 6th and 7th position, I believe. 6-7, Daryl.
Yeah, 6-7. You know, 6-7.
But not much action out front here. Let's drop back a bit in the field. Looks like Frankie Barroso has found his way up to the 3rd position out of Miami, Florida. It's been a rough night so far for Barroso, but he finally starts to work up towards the front.
Yeah, P3 looking really good. He's only about a half second, it looks like, away from P2, and he's looking really good. He's going to be a contender at the end of this race.
You know, Daryl, back to Harpoon Design, Brantley says he only likes doing the NASCAR and the dirt stuff. Well, didn't he just paint a Mazda MX-5? Is that right?
He did. He did paint a Mazda MX-5. He doesn't do them very often, but when he's feeling a little frisky, I should say, he'll paint some of those cars once in a while.
Yeah, so, I mean, folks, even if you don't see the car you like driving or need a paint for on there, just shoot him a message, see if he'll do it. If not, nothing lost. But if he does, it'll be great because, trust me, that MX-5 paint was pretty sweet. But we drop back in the field. Matthew Fleming down pit road here, so he's going to continue to try to work back through the field after oversliding his pit stall last stop. Meanwhile, Jesse Becker, we know he short pit the field. He pit very early, like way too early, honestly, in my opinion. But we're going to see how this plays out right now. He finds himself in the 6th position. Maybe it'll work out where he can cycle into the race lead briefly, but he's going to have some old tires to finish this race.
Yeah, he was the first to pit, Blake. He pit on lap 92, where everybody else pit around 105, 110-ish. He definitely pit early. However, right now, he is a lucky dog candidate if, for some reason, a caution were to come out. So he does not have to worry about being stuck a lap down if a caution were to come out right now. So he's in a good spot.
And, if you're wondering about tire fall off here, right now, Steve Tucker, your race leader, about 1.7 seconds slower than his fastest lap. So you're seeing about a 1.7 second fall off here after about 45 or so laps. And Steve Tucker continues to stay out there. I wonder at this point, Daryl, you think he's going to be trying something, maybe a 2-tire stop?
I don't think so. I mean, unless he pits really late. I mean, right now he does have a nice gap of about 3.5 seconds. I don't see a 2-tire stop here unless, like I said, unless he pits really late. We are about 32 laps to go, so
now
maybe.
Yeah, one thing I'll say, Jesse Becker, I can't confirm. I looked back in my logs, and he did actually take 2 tires on a stop. And it looks like there's actually a few others that have done that as well. So we'll see how this plays out. A lot of guys going with 2 tires. Looks like the left side of the car is maybe not fading that much here at Phoenix.
It may not. I'm looking at the track temperature. It's still at 94 degrees. Sometimes we see races where the track temp is scorching, 120, 125 degrees. And it's just real slick. It's a nice, cool 94 degrees track temp. So I think that's helping the tires as well.
Absolutely. Here at Phoenix, again, the Harpoon Design 150 here. Head on over, harpoondesign.com. Paint starters just $25. And, folks, if you're looking to get some video work done, maybe some 3D rendering, some crazy graphics or something, you can check out Juicy Spider Studios over on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Juicy Spider Studios, spelled just like they are on the logo you'll see in the top right of your screen shortly.
Blake, not to interrupt, I see Frankie just came down pit road. Also, Dylan Morante's on pit road. It's going to force the hand of the top three here to pit probably pretty soon.
Yeah.
These fresh tires are going to give these guys a really big advantage.
Looks like, Barroso going with 4 tires there, so definitely going to be interesting here on what the decision's going to be for Tucker. You know, my guess, I mean, there's less than 30 left to go. I'm kind of thinking Tucker might just stay out there, get 2 tires on the right side.
The later this race goes, the more I agree with you that he might only take 4 tires.
We'll just wait and see, as Tucker and Mealy are now the only cars out there. And I'm not sure of this strategy. I'm starting to think Tucker might be staying out too long. Hopefully he heads down pit road here shortly. You don't want him to ruin this dominant performance he's had tonight.
He's done everything perfect so far. The last thing he would need to do is to make a bad decision on when to pit. He's still staying out now. I just watched him pass the pit road entrance. He's still staying out there. To give you a comparison, Blake, I'm looking at the lap times here. His last lap was a 28.822. And trying to find a guy who's got fresh tires and see what theirs is. Landon at a 27.9. So that's...
Well, Matthew Fleming with a 27.5. So there's the big difference right there. So I mean, you're looking at 1.2 plus second difference every lap around. So, I mean, see if Tucker stays out too long, he might find himself... Oh, he's down pit road right now. Hopefully he didn't stay out too long. He might find himself cycled out of the race lead, but we're just going to have to wait and see how this works out as he goes down pit road from Boston, Massachusetts. The big Patriots fan, he's trying to park it in victory lane here tonight because he's not going to be very happy come Sunday night.
He definitely he needs this win to cheer him up for sure before the catastrophe happens for him on Sunday. Not for me, not for you, Blake, but for him.
Absolutely. And Jesse Becker, you know, he's going to find himself cycled into the race lead for the short pit, but, you know, I worry about how these tires are going to work out for Becker. But for now, Justin Malarkey going to hold on to the race lead, it looks like. Let me double check. Has Malarkey pit? Oh, yes. Actually, I'm sorry. I take that back. Yes, he has. He pit back on lap 105. So he's actually got fresher tires than Becker. So, yeah, Justin Malarkey, your race leader. Here you go, Daryl. Tucker back out on track. He took 4 tires, it looks like, and he's back in 9th position. He's got a lot of work to do.
That's not what he wanted either. If you saw that, he came out of pit road and he was 3 wide going into that first corner. That is not something he wanted to deal with to start this last stretch here. Needs
to get around these guys. He's got to get to work on the big gap. I mean, he's 11.5 seconds behind your race leader. The longer he stays side by side, that's just going to slow him down.
Yeah, I'm looking here. The top guy that has already pit is Matthew Fleming in P3. He pit on lap 114, and he's about he's got an over 6-second lead over Steve.
Yeah, you know, Steve's lap times are similar to Fleming, but again, he's side by side right now. He needs to clear these guys. You know, this is really important. This is holding him up big time. He's only got 24 laps left to go with still a big gap.
Yeah, he's trying to make quick work. It's just it's a little bit of a struggle.
Yeah, I'm kind of shocked, you know.
Looks like he's going to clear him here.
I think taking 4 tires was the right call, but just staying out so long, you know, really puts this race in question. I'm not saying it's impossible for him to win, but he's going to have to really dig to get the job done here tonight. Let's jump back out front. Justin Malarkey holds on to that race lead. Let's see if the pit strategy pays off. He ended up taking 2 tires back on lap 105. We're here on lap 129. So we're going to see if he can hold off these guys as he's pulling away from Becker. Really, to me, it looks like Malarkey's only going to need to worry about probably Fleming and Tucker, possibly Barroso.
Yeah, I've been watching that interval, and yeah, you're right. Blake, you nailed it. It's about a 2-second lead right now over P2, Jesse Becker. It's growing. It was 1.8. It was 2 seconds. It's already up to 2.2. holding strong up there right now.
Yeah, it looks like this lead is a grower, not a shower. Justin Malarkey out front, pulling away from Jesse Becker. I think it was the right call, though, for Jesse Becker to take the 2 tires and short pit the field. He was running around the 10th position when this happened. But Steve Tucker, now let's kind of check out his lap times there. Last lap around, he ran a 27.29. That is about a second faster than Malarkey. So if he keeps up this pace, Daryl, he definitely has a possibility to take over that top spot. But also remember, he's got a lot of traffic to get through as well, which is going to slow him down.
He does have some traffic to get to, and I'm also looking at the gap between the guys that have the freshest tires, meaning Matthew Fleming and P3. And that gap now has gone down to about 4 seconds between Matthew Fleming, who pit on lap 114, and Steve, who's in P6, who pit only 10 laps later. So Steve's got 10 lap fresher tires than P3 right now.
Absolutely. Oh, it looks like Barroso getting held up by the 5. And, Daryl, if only we had a way to show, maybe the fastest 5 cars on the track the last lap by this time, that would just be great. Oh, wait a minute. What is this? Take a look there. The Hutchinson Motorsports TV fastest last lap. So that's counting the last lap around the track. Steve Tucker, fastest car on the track, 27.46. And you have Joseph Mealy, Derek Fye, Dylan Morante, and Frankie Barroso. So Tucker is definitely digging right now. He's putting that short speed to work.
He's got fresh air now. He doesn't have to worry about passing anybody for quite a while. Fresh air is going to help him here. This is very critical. We're going to be coming to 16 to go next time by.
And I think his teammate, Frankie Barroso, kind of knew Tucker was hard charging and needs this race. So I think Barroso might have helped him out a little bit, let him get by pretty quick there.
Yeah, the only thing that Steve really needs to do is just race the track. Don't get too aggressive. The worst thing you can do is have 10 lap fresher tires than everybody else and burn them up by just, diving into corners and things like that. He still has to be a little conservative, just race the track, and he should be fine. But it's going to be close, and it's going to be a lot of fun to watch here.
And we're going to keep our eyes here. We don't want to all be about Steve Tucker tonight, but he has dominated this race, so he's definitely one of the stars of the night. But take a look at this guy. He's not out of this race. Matthew Fleming reeling in your race leader. Justin Malarkey has fresher tires, and it looks like he's gaining about 0.3 of a second every single lap with 15 left to go. I think he's got time to catch Justin Malarkey out front for sure. We're going to hop on board here in the Hutchinson Motorsports TV nose cam. Matthew Fleming out of Van Wert, Ohio. There is the race leader out front by about 1.25 seconds about. Meanwhile, Steve Tucker's last lap around the track was about a 27.5. Then you saw Matthew Fleming ran a 28.0. So Tucker's gaining about 0.5 seconds on Fleming. And then your race leader, Justin Malarkey, a 28.3. So again, he's losing 0.3 on Fleming. Tucker's gaining about 0.5 seconds on Fleming. So definitely getting interesting here with just 13 laps left to go. Tucker back just 1.6 seconds. I think he's got plenty of time.
He does have plenty of time, Blake. They're coming up on 12 laps to go here, and he's right there. He's cut it down. He's only 0.6 away from Matthew Fleming and only 1.2 away from the leader. He just needs to keep doing what he's doing.
Hey, take a look here at the last 5 laps around the track. Steve Tucker's gained about 6 to 7 of a second on the race leader, and he's gaining about 4 to 5 of a second on Fleming. So, my pick would still be Steve Tucker at this point, but still 12 to go. We'll see how defensive these guys want to get.
If I'm Justin Malarkey or Matthew Fleming right now, I'd be hoping Marshall Harris is in the stands throwing one of his beer cans on the track for a caution. They're gonna need it.
Well, I tell you what,
you.
If Marshall Harris is there, he's going to have plenty of beer cans to be throwing out on the track, as these guys are bumper to bumper here with 11 to go. Now, Daryl, one thing to remember, Matthew Fleming's racing for a Final Four appearance as well. He's not going to pull over and let Steve by. I don't care how fast he is.
No, he's not going to pull over. And if you can see here, it looks like we're going to have a little bit of a battle.
Let's hop on board with Steve Tucker in the third position. We know he's faster, but just be patient if I'm Steve Tucker. I mean, you got 10 laps left. You got fresher tires. I would just kind of wait until the door opens up to make the move. Taking a look at the gearbox cam on Justin Malarkey. He's going to let Fleming underneath him here. Let's see if Fleming can take over the race lead. We got a 3-car battle for the race lead with just 9 laps left to go. Fleming keeps the top or the bottom line as Malarkey's on the outside. Steve Tucker again waiting for an opening. Still 8 laps remain. Tucker's got the fresh tires, looking to take him 3 wide. He's going to back off.
He's not going to back off for too long, though. Blake, it's 7 to go, 6 to go at the line. He knows that it might take a little bit to get around these guys there. Oh, I thought they were going to go 3 wide. That would have been dangerous.
Great battle. If these guys keep slowing each other down, you got Frankie Barroso sneaking up behind them in that 4th position as well. So Matthew Fleming takes over the top spot. Steve Tucker going to give him a bump and run move here. Let's see if he can get around him.
That did not look like it phased Matthew Fleming. Fleming says, "You are not going to bump and run me, buddy."
Fleming gets a little loose there going the corner. It looks like car kind of shook a little bit, but he's able to get it corrected. Tucker backs off the throttle. Still 6 laps left to go. And in the chat, we got
for these drivers. That's...
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Blake. No, go ahead.
I was just going to say in the chat, we got Zorku. He's saying the 73's out of the battle for now. Look out! Oh, no! Fleming hard into the wall. Green stays out for now. Not sure what happened, if Tucker might have helped him out or Fleming just lost it. We'll go back and watch that replay here shortly. Take a look here, folks. What do you think? Oh, okay. Let's rewind this a little bit further so we can get better context here. Daryl, what are you seeing?
So it looks like he kind of... that's... What I saw there is that it looks like Steve definitely tried to go to his outside. I'm not so sure that there was enough room for him to go to the outside there. Kind of gave him a little bit of a bump on the right quarter and kind of got Fleming a little loose there, and that's what caused him to almost go and say hi to the inside wall.
Yeah, you know, Fleming gets into the inside wall. I mean, his race is hurt pretty bad. He's back to the 5th position. To me, I mean, it looked like a bad racing deal. Tucker had been patient up to that point. I think he thought he was there on the outside. He might have been there. Fleming looked to get a little loose coming out of the corner, tried to cover up top, and unfortunately Steve's bumper was right, or Steve's front bumper was right where the back bumper was going to be for Fleming, and he goes hard into the fence. But it looks like Tucker is your race leader with just 3 laps left to go. You guys be the judge in the chat. Let us know what you saw there, who you think's at fault. Maybe it was just a racing deal, but Tucker out front. It's been a dominating performance for him. Just 2 laps left to go here in the Harpoon Design 150. Zorku says there's going to be words in the hauler later. I definitely think that is the case. Connor Gerard, what do you think in the chat? Let us know as these guys are heading towards the white flag. Let's hop on board with Steve Tucker, your race leader. White flag in the air, final lap around Phoenix Motor Speedway with the Harpoon Design 150 here with the Wheels America Racing Cup Series. Steve Tucker, your race leader. Frankie Barroso about half a second behind him as they head down the backstretch for the final time. Brantley Roden in the chat thinks Fleming came up while Tucker was there, but it doesn't matter as checkered flags waving. Steve Tucker wins the Harpoon Design 150, and he locks his ticket to the season finale next week at Homestead.
Great job to Steve. He ran a really good race. Didn't make any mistakes on pit road. Did what he needed to do to win this one, and now he's definitely locked in for the championship next weekend at Homestead.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out, folks. You're going to want to stay tuned. We got some driver interviews coming up here. Going to talk to the top three and see what Steve Tucker saw at his front windshield down on that incident. We're going to watch him burn it down here. We're going to gather some drivers, and we'll be back here shortly. And we are back here at Phoenix. You just watched the ending of this thing. What a great race. Steve Tucker dominates. 128 laps led for Tucker. Frankie Barroso takes home second place with Joseph Mealy rounding out your top three here. We are ready for some driver interviews. Let's take a look, see if these guys are ready to go. Joseph, Blake, and Daryl up in the booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Yes, sir. How you guys doing?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. You know, it was a solid night for you. You were just kind of sneaky fast all night long. You're able to hold it onto the podium, take home third here at Phoenix.
Yeah, it was disappointing to give up the pole like that for the EOL, but it was all about getting stage points and just had to keep tires on it. It was tires wearing out like crazy, but hopefully that's enough to get to the championship for. We'll see. I don't know, but if not, it's been a fun season.
Absolutely. You know, we're going to try to wait and get confirmation on who locked themselves in. You know, you're battling for basically two spots because we know Tucker's locked in. Morante locked himself in. It's going to be interesting. I believe Barroso's going to make it, so you're basically waiting on the news for that final spot. How confident are you thinking that was enough to get the job done?
I think I did what I had to do last week for the most part. I'm going to be looking back on leaving the bottom open and letting let them go by me on the last lap last week. But if I don't make it, if I don't, you know, it is what it is. I did everything I had to do. I'm not disappointed in myself, and I had a lot of fun doing what we did.
Well, you did a great job. Daryl, what did you see out of this 39 machine of Joseph Mealy?
I saw consistency, Joseph. He did really well. He started qualified P3 and qualified on the pole. Like you said, it had to start with an EOL and finished on a podium spot. Regardless if you're in the championship four or not, what do you think of Homestead next week?
I think it's a fun racetrack. It can go either way. Just kind of got to show up and see what happens. I've been doing a lot of telling myself in these races it's not over till it's over, and a lot of times that's been true. I'm not going to stop fighting until the last lap if I do indeed get to.
Well, hey, definitely worked out for you here tonight, Joseph. Put yourself on the podium. We hope you're able to lock yourself into the Final Four. Again, we'll wait for confirmation on that. But nonetheless, we look forward to seeing you out there next week at Homestead for the finale. But before you head out, got any shout-outs or anything for our fans at home?
Yeah, shout out to the fans. Shout out to my grandparents going through a lot. They're troopers. Love you guys. Shout out to my mom, my friends, you guys. Yeah, it's a good time.
Absolutely. Well, hey, again, congratulations. We'll send you down to celebrate with your friends and family. Congratulations. A P3 finish here at Phoenix.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
You too. That's Joseph Mealy, our third place finisher here. Let's take a look at Frankie Barroso, see if we can get him in here for an interview as he brought home the second position. Here we go. I see him right here. Frankie, Blake, and Daryl up in the booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Yeah, I got a copy.
Hey, a solid run for you tonight. You start in the back, and, it basically took you all race long. You finally found yourself up there. Bring home second here tonight. And, we were going to ask, what happened on that first stage, at the end of the first stage, whenever you came down pit road a lap late?
Oh, that was just me just messing up. I missed my box, and once that kind of happened, I was like, all right, well, I guess I'll just save a set of tires and see where that gets me, because tires kind of mean a big deal around here, and definitely didn't help, but it didn't hurt either. So I mean, it is what it is, man. We're moving on, and I just get to focus on next week.
And you're going to be battling for a championship next week. I did receive confirmation. Your final four, it's going to be Steve Tucker, yourself, Frankie Barroso, Dylan Morante, and the final spot going to be Joseph Mealy. So how confident you feeling heading into Homestead?
I feel pretty confident. Home track, and hoping I can continue some decent form. I've kind of struggled the last couple weeks, so trying to regain some good form and just try and be there in the end for next week. Try and win a championship.
Absolutely. Now, Daryl, what'd you see out of Frankie here as he worked through the field basically the whole night?
Well, as you're showing on the broadcast, the hard charger plus 12 spots. That's a good run for you, Frankie, and finishing P2. And I know you're looking forward to Homestead. Do you have any? Well, what do you overall? What do you think of the track? Like, is it one of your favorites? Do you typically run good there? Talk to me about that.
I'd say it's probably. I mean, I'm a little biased because it's a home track of mine, but I really like running there, and the racing's normally really well. I'd say I'm pretty confident going there. We'll see kind of how the top goes and runs, but that's a conversation for next week. So I'm just happy I moved on, and congrats to Steve for the win. I was happy for him. It's been a little while, so good to get a teammate in victory lane.
Absolutely. Storm Motorsports, they're way up in the team standings, and thanks to you and Steve for the most part. But looks like your teammate there, Jesse Becker, brought home, I believe, 6th on an alternate pit strategy. What'd you think of that strategy he did? He did pitting, I believe, on lap 92 or so.
Well, it worked. I definitely wouldn't have tried it, but I mean, it worked. It worked for him. He was able to save the tire good, and when it goes green the whole way, if you can get the track position early, like as long as you save your stuff, then you can have a pretty decent finish. And I think Jesse was like in 10th before the pit stops, and he finished 6th, so he gained like 4 spots. So I'd say that's a win.
Absolutely. Well, hey, Frankie, again, congratulations on your 2nd place finish. Before you head out, though, got any shout-outs or anything for our fans watching at home?
Yeah, no, just like to thank the league, Matt Fleming, and everybody that helps runs it. It's pretty good. Always have a good time here, and obviously thank you to Storm Motorsports, Jesse and Steve. Like I said before, congrats to Steve on the win. He drove his butt off the whole race and was able to get the clean sweep. And obviously thank you to you guys for putting on the show.
Absolutely. Well, hey, again, congratulations, Frankie, and we look forward to seeing you out there next week at Homestead. You're going to be racing for a championship, buddy.
Yeah, man. Thank you, Blake. Thank you, Daryl.
That was Frankie Barroso, your 2nd place finisher, and there's some rumbling stirring. Some people aren't happy about Steve Tucker making a move he did. I don't know. I mean, to me, it just seemed like a racing deal. Again, I don't think Fleming did anything wrong either. Just one of those rough deals, guys racing hard at the end of a race. But let's pull him in here, see what he thinks about it. Tonight's winner, Steve Tucker. Steve, Blake, and Daryl up in the booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Hey, what a race for you. You lead 128 laps and you end up parking in victory lane. To me, it seemed like you made it a little hard on yourself there by pitting so late. What'd you think looking back?
It's tough because I feel like I make this mistake often in this 3rd stage where, you try and kind of gauge where everyone else is going to come down to pit, and you don't want to pit too early as the leader because you don't want to be stuck a lap down if a caution comes out or things like that. And I was kind of gauging it off of what Joseph was doing and Dylan maybe, and I would come down when they do and kind of go from there. I thought maybe they would take 2 tires. I don't think they did. So I like fresh tires late. It puts me in attack mode, and I can just go in and chase it. Typically, I'm a better defender than I'm an attacker in this case, but I guess it worked out.
Absolutely. Again, it was your race to win there at the end. You got the job done. Now, I'll let you address it. You mentioned it in the chat. You and Matthew Fleming go way back, and definitely nothing intentional happened. Not sure what happened, and just wondering what you saw happen out to your front windshield.
It's tough. I mean, we got past, I forgot who we were fighting right there alongside, but, got past him. Fleming, I mean, we fought more or less earlier in the race. He wasn't ever in a position to pass me, but he was right behind me. He was good on long runs. So at the end there, it's tough because, I mean, I've got the fresher tires. He's going to block, obviously, and whatever. I had a run there out of 2, or so I thought I did, and I tried to pass him on the outside lane, which typically isn't ideal for that positioning. I had a lane. I mean, from the in car, it looked like his wheel he got loose a little bit, and then maybe that's why he checked up, got into my left front, and then I feel like I stayed straight. Maybe I nudged him when I shouldn't have nudged him. It's tough to know, and it seemed like he came to the right a little bit. I don't know really what that was, but not intentional. Fleming and I go way back, and he's the last person I'm going to wreck for a win. So I hope he knows that. I'm pretty sure he does. And in a case like that, especially coming off of a corner, going into a corner, a bump and run, sure, but in a case like this, off the corner, that's not intentional, obviously, and it's just he got loose. I was there, trying to go for a playoff spot, championship 4 spot. It's unfortunately one of those racing deals, and I feel bad. It definitely deters the feeling of the win a little bit. I don't like to win that way. I don't win much, and I certainly don't dominate much like today, but that was not the way to do it, I feel like.
Yeah, well, nonetheless, you did a great job, dominating performance. Daryl, what'd you see out of Steve here tonight other than basically domination?
Yeah, I saw a clean race. Steve, you won both stages, won the race, had good pit stops. Didn't appear to be burn up your tires. It was just an overall solid day. How comfortable do you feel going into Homestead?
Homestead's tough, man. It used to be a lot of fun on the sim, but it just depends. I don't actually know if it's a night race or a day race. If it's a day race, outside lane will be a lot of fun. Ripping the high line, I like that preferably. If it's a night race, it'll be a bottom feeding race down by the apron, saving the right front. And I'm typically not as good at that. But Phoenix has also been a racetrack where I like, but I've never really been great at. And tonight kind of proved that. I feel like this season has been like Dover. Dover I won at earlier in the year, and I typically am terrible there. It's probably my worst track besides Bristol. So I just kind of figured it out. Now, granted, Frankie had a bad qualifying effort, and Joseph started in the back, so maybe I lucked out today a bit. But Homestead's fun. I do like the track. I don't think I can hold a candle to Frankie. I think Frankie's going to be dominant there. And Joseph has been fast all season long, and I think Morante, he's kind of hot and cold. So, I mean, I like my chances, but we're going to find out. It's going to be fun bringing this Harpoon Design #1 machine to Homestead and Miami, and we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna try for it for sure.
Oh, before you go though, Steve, a $10 super chat just came through from some guy named Skull Vikings 4. He says,
Skull View and Kings, yeah.
Yeah. He said, Punxsutawney Phil predicts Seattle to win the Super Bowl. What do you think of that, Steve?
Yeah, I don't like that at all because Seattle, I mean, first of all, they have Sam Darnold, which the Vikings fumbled. And second of all, the defense is probably way overrated. Patriots have played 3 of the top 5 defenses. So I think it's going to be a close game. It's going to be a tough game. Give me Drake May and give me the Patriots, I don't know, by 10.
All right, Daryl, what do you think?
Steve, you do have a Kermit the Frog on a Patriots jersey on your little avatar, and I must tell you, Seahawks like to dine on frogs. That you can Google it. Google it, sir.
Yeah,
that was not a good choice.
I don't know what that means. All I know is that the Patriots are like 6 or 7 time Super Bowl champions after Sunday, so it's all right. I mean, we like birds too. Patriots have I can go on and on. Go ahead, Blake.
Steve, another $10 super chat just came in from Brantley Roden, Harpoon Design. He said mass pats cheat. Please elaborate.
Yeah, they might have. Listen, I'll give you like maybe 2 or 3 of the Super Bowls, but the other 4, 3 or 4, I mean, you really can't say much about that. So definitely a lot more than your favorite team. And we're going to get one more on Sunday.
I'm getting some strays over here, Daryl. What do you think of this?
I mean, listen, your team.
Once a cheater, always a cheater, Blake. That's all I got to say.
Man,
you know
aren't you a Cowboys fan? Cowboys fans have to go buy a VCR to watch their championships.
I'm a Bears fan. No better.
Oh, God. Yeah. That's rough.
Hey, nonetheless, Steve, congratulations on a big win here. 128 laps led. Domination here at Phoenix. Got the job done, parking at victory lane. You're racing for a championship, and I guess we'll just have to wait and see how that plays out, and we'll see you next week at Homestead.
Yeah, yes, sir. Quick shout out, by the way, to Harpoon Design. Go and check them out. 10,000 plus paints on tradingpaints.com.
Wow.
Harpoondesign.com. Fill out a form. Get a paint done. Do it tonight, or God will hit you.
Well, that's a good point there. But nonetheless, Daryl, you got any final words for Steve before he heads out to celebrate this big win?
No, just good luck on the championship next Tuesday. You're going to need it to get yourself in a better mood after what happens on Sunday. You're welcome, buddy. Take care.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's Steve Tucker, your winner here tonight in the Harpoon Design 150. And Daryl, there's nothing more fitting than seeing a Harpoon Design car win the Harpoon Design 150.
Nothing more fitting. Again, go to harpoondesign.com. If you want a beautiful paint, fill out a form. Paint start at what again, Blake?
$25, which is just crazy. I mean, it seems like those are like 2008 prices or something.
Yeah, it's insane. There's no inflation charges at harpoondesign.com.
Absolutely. Well, hey, nonetheless, folks, appreciate you tuning in. Be sure before you head out, click the like button, subscribe to the channel, check out the description, join our Discord channel. We got an event coming up this Friday, the Harpoon Design 500. Going to be in the Gen 4 Cup cars at Old Daytona. We got $150 of prizes and payouts on the line. Entry fee, only $5. Can you believe that? I feel like we should have maybe made it $20. But, well, I guess we messed up, folks. So be sure to sign up for that. And that's all I really got. But in the booth with Daryl Young here tonight, I'm Blake Hutchinson, and we'll see you next time.